Black Ops Shotgun Guide, Olympia, SPAS, and the Stealth class. Okay, different from the SPAS-12 class is that it's also the Stealth one. It's about 4:30ish, I think, around there in the video it starts. It's about half the video. And the first half of the video is the Olympia, RPG, Concussions, Tomahawk, and Attack Insert on Hazard, Capture the Flag. And I really like Capture the Flag, but as for the Olympia, okay, it's got the 2 shots, it's got 18 shots in reserve, total of 40 with scavenger, but it only supplies 2 with 1 scavenger bag, which is the lowest among all weapons in the game other than the crossbow and the ballistic knife. It has no attachments, it's the only primary weapon to have no attachments. It has kind of a long reload time, which can drastically decrease the sleight of hand, and it can really be brought out sometimes because of the hit detection and connection and lag and everything that happens sometimes in Black Ops. You'll be kind of screwed over with the Olympia. Because sometimes you'll get 1 hit marker, sometimes you'll get no hit markers and just kill you on the first shot. And other times you'll get 2 hit markers with the Olympia, which is probably the most annoying thing about it when it happens. But the sleight of hand will make the reload less painful, so maybe you still have a chance of surviving one of these accidents. And as for reloading, I recommend you do it every chance you get, because if you don't reload, you might get a hit marker on the guy at the next shot, and then you have to reload, and you could have killed the guys and you didn't have to reload again. And it's also good for, sleight of hand is also good for help with the RPG, because the RPG's got a long-ass reload time, and it's not always the best, because it's kind of inaccurate. That's what mostly known for. And, so yeah, for this, I do recommend you stay on the sides of this map, as I go into later, but the Olympia is also the only shotgun in the game, actually not only shotgun, it's the only weapon in the game to have its own special challenge that's not part of the weapons challenge. It's the both barrels challenge, which I got earlier in this video. It's where you have to land both shots with Olympia on the person. It doesn't have to be the same shots at the same time. You can kill someone with the first shot and then reload it, and then hit a hit marker or kill at the next shot after you reloaded. They'll still give it to you. It just needs to be 2 consecutive Olympia shots. Doesn't matter when or when. It could take 5 minutes in between. It could take 12 minutes in between. It won't matter, as long as you don't die, obviously. And a little bit about Hazard and shotguns. For Hazard, you don't want to run up the middle of the map like I do here. Like you guys, a lot you will not survive running up the middle because it opens wide, and it's often got snipers on either end and on the sides who will pick you off, or people with assault rifles will do it too. And there'll be people in this little golf thing, so I recommend you go down the sides of the map, like the side where the cliff is, and the one over on the other one where you'll see you go down a little bit later on. The flag, and this is why you don't go up the middle right here. This is a fine example right there. You got 2 snipers there, and the one guy over this one got me on the map, and that's the RPG's problem. It's the weird, crooked steering rocket of problematicness. But tactical. Right here about the tactical insert. This is why you always bring tactical inserts to CTF, or really log gamers are great too, because you can just plan it. And I kill this guy. I think this guy comes up here. Some guy comes up and then kills me. Then he tries to steal my gun, which did not make me happy. And then you just spawn and kill him like 5 seconds later, and you're right there. So if you're going for like marathon or lightweight pro, you can just spawn right there, and it's really easy. And about CTF, I don't know. So honestly, a lot of people, especially online, I hear people, they complain about it. I don't know why people complain about it, because it's actually a great game mode if you know what you're doing, more or less. I always recommend if you want to play defensively in CTF, go ahead and bring claymores in. If you can play it more offensively and you're going for like marathon and lightweight pro, definitely go for with the tactical insertion. But yeah, you can get marathon and lightweight very easy in this. It's like the easiest way to do both of them, because when you hold the flag, I think you'll see this here, but when you're holding the flag in CTF, you get an offensive medal for every person you kill with it. So they got defense and offense there. But even if you're like on one side of the map and you're sniping on the other half of Hazard or whatever map theoretically, when you snipe him, it gets you an offensive medal if you have the flag on you. It's just will always get you offensive medals. So in theory, all you have to do is pick up 1 flag and then sit in a corner or something, and you can get like 10 offensive medals, and like that's how easy to get that, and melee and all that stuff. And marathon actually makes you play for 15 capture flag medals, which is probably the easier part of that challenge. And this one, okay, now the SPAS-12 class. It's the SPAS with suppressor. This is the stealth one. It's got Ghost, Ninja, and Sleight of Hand Pro. And you got claymores, concussions, and a tomahawk. For the this one, yeah, the SPAS-12 has absolutely no reason not to use the suppressor because there's no effects. It doesn't lose range or damage or any of the stuff traditionally affected by suppressors. It's like the Striker from Modern Warfare 2, which is actually the best shotgun Modern Warfare 2 for the record. That's promotion. Anyways, so yeah, you want to, this is on Fire Range, Search and Destroy, and Fire Range is a good nap and drill, but the SPAS, it's got the 8 shots, the 24 reserve, the most out of any shotgun in the game for starting ammo without Scavenger. And I believe with Scavenger has the most of any shotgun too. And let's see. And then you can see, and the best part of it being semi-automatic is you kind of just spray it, but the main drawback is it kind of has a lower chance of one-shot kills than the Olympia and the Stakeout because it does less damage. It does 30-10 instead of the 40-10 per pellet. So it requires like one more pellet to hit the guy to kill him, which is not a big deal because it fires 8 pellets. But it can be a big deal because you kind of spray it and you don't re-aim. It will just not end well because you can just spray like 4 shots and you finally will kill the guy. And you also see the stats in wager matches. Like it's the 4th weapon in gun game, right after the Stakeout and right before the MP5K. And it shows that in sharpshooter sometimes it's not in 6 and stones, and it's not in 1 chamber, obviously. So yeah, then I died here. The secondary is easy center. I think I forgot to mention that. That's the best silent secondary I think in the game, and the SPAS is definitely the best like silent. Well, silent shotgun obviously. It's the only silent shotgun in the game. Pretty good. It's 1 attachment it has, and I kind of camp here. I know it's kind of bad, but I kind of did. Which is not necessarily a bad idea, kind of shotguns to kind of sit in the corner, because if people run past you or try to charge you, you can just shoot them. And it's actually a great way to counter knife lunge, because they try to come and stab you and shoot them, as long as they don't like knife lunge through your shot, which is kind of annoying as hell when it happens, but it does happen. Let's see, I think it's kind of getting close to the end of the, this one here, I think soon. It's going to go into the actual SPAS class, which is, SPAS-12 with suppressor still, and it's got flashback instead of ghost. It's still got sleight of hand ninja. So that's the tomahawk, the C4 instead of claymore, and Nova Gas instead of the concussion grenade, as you can see right there. C4 is fine because you get 2, and it's pretty decent. The problem is you can't just abandon it. Like you can just plant a claymore and run to the other half of the map. You gotta kind of watch it and know when someone kind of comes past it. Which I think you can see here is kind of boring. Someone's just sitting in the corner, this corner for like a minute and a half, just waiting for someone to come by. And yeah, Nova Gas is kind of okay. It's better than hardcore because in core you can get a lot of hit markers, and it doesn't really kill. But it's kind of like it's sort of like a stun. It's like a weaker version of the concussion grenade, kind of combined with like a Wily Peak. And it's okay. But anyways, about Fire Range a little bit. Fire Range is actually my personal favorite shotgun map because it's small. It's got all the close quarters areas. There's a little bit long areas, so people like snipers sometimes. Some people will snipe here. I can't imagine why they do. I cannot snipe this map. I tried before, trust me, it's not a good idea. But this is just my shotgun map. It's just got all the close range combat. It's got small areas where people run through. It's got traditional combat areas like the buildings on both sides tend to be kind of filled with people you can kill. And down there, I just ran through the B-bomb side. There's also a lot of people on occasion. And really, just the main positive it has over other smaller maps like Summit and Nuketown is that, well, mostly Nuketown is the fact that Nuketown is just a complete and utter clusterfuck and combine that with the bad hit detection and some lag. And in case you're wondering what the hell I mean by that, it's kind of like where everyone just spawns everywhere, and it's literally just a big circle where everyone spawns like everywhere on the map, and people will spawn in front of you, people will spawn behind you, you'll spawn, move 5 feet, and they'll spawn the enemy behind you. It's just fun or not fun, depending on how your team is. Which is why I recommend you don't play Nuketown with randoms, because most of the time I find that it seems to always be with the randoms that are really, really bad, and then it just does not end well in Nuketown if you have bad randoms, because you'll just be spawn trapped and all this miserable, unfun stuff will happen to you. So I definitely recommend Fire Range more. Black Ops